Are we in? Not yet, not yet. We need to skip once. Oh, we need to restart. Thank you, Knight, for the restart. And I'm gonna move my face out of the way so we can get into the cast of relegation match number 1, Division 1 versus Division 2. We'll have a bit of a warm-up. 1 minute to go on through the track. Make sure everybody is loading in and nobody is having any issues. Unfortunately, Tatu will not be able to join. So because of that, he will be delegated to Division 2. So it's really up to these 3 players to make sure they don't end up in last place today. So to look at the players once more, we've got Captain Salmon in the 1st position, Intellect in the 2nd, and Tuka in the 3rd position. I'm saying 1st, 2nd, and 3rd because I'm pressing the buttons 1, 2, and 3 to make sure I switch to the right car. I know. Imagine. All right. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Gonna be a quick one as well. Yesterday's match was a bit longer because the matches do take 5 rounds per map instead of 3 rounds per map. So we will be seeing 3 rounds per map today. And right now we are looking at the track Himu even, which apparently still has the advertisement for the beer on the side there, which is pretty hilarious. But is a track with, again, slides are very important, very technical. With a hidden finish at the end. You want to make sure you get your bug slide right to get on in. And with that, we are in the 1st round of the 1st map. Here we go. We got a great lineup of players for you right now. Tuka leading the charge right now. Captain Salmon behind, followed up by Intellect. Oh, in fact, Captain Salmon overtaken right now. Intellect having to claw his way back from Division 3 into Division 2 and now trying to secure a spot for Division 1. Let's see if he's able to make it happen. It would be a great little story of the tournament, in my opinion. Captain Salmon right behind, not really able to catch up. In fact, 2 seconds behind right now. Not really seeing how he's going to be able to make it up on his own. He's got to have to hope that either Tuka or Intellect is going to mess up on the finish, and maybe they will. Tuka goes for the slide, bongs the pillar, but does get into the finish before Captain Salmon eventually. But that bonk cost him 1st place, and Intellect takes it. And I will tell you, these bonks will happen. It's going to be great. Be on the lookout for those finishes, because bonks do happen. But here we go, round number 2, Captain Salmon looking for some vindication, catching up to Tuka, overtakes him a little bit, but very close to one another, just 400s between one and the other. And so far, no clear number 1 position. Intellect trailing behind right now, 0.6 of a second. That's quite a ways behind. Really has to hope that either Captain Salmon or Tuka messes something up, but at the same time, it's going to be very hard to Intellect to catch up, but Salmon does mess up. The slide sends him into the wall and slows him down. Tuka, however, not deterred in any way, shape, or form, not distracted by his fellow driver crashing into the wall and just tries to take 1st place this time. Does he hit the pillar? He does not and goes into the finish, followed up by Intellect and Captain Salmon taken in 3rd place. It is it's an interesting race, and already we're on the final round. These players don't have a lot of time to really get used to these tracks. It's in and out. You're done. Next to the next map. We don't have time for you to really understand these slides. If you didn't understand these slides, you're not deserving to promote to the next division, or stay in your division for that matter. But right now we have Intellect and Tuka tied up for number 1 with Captain Salmon really trying to get the... At the moment I start talking about Captain Salmon, he crashes into the checkpoint and Tuka misses the slide, hitting his back wheel on the ramp. Intellect running away with it. Oh, Intellect looking to really secure that 1st place and making that little fairy tale of his come true. I mean, I'm saying little fairy tale, but honestly, he's been driving very well every single time I've been able to watch him play. And let's hope he manages to clutch it out. He does. Great slide into the finish. You've got Captain Salmon right behind, followed up by Tuka, who just spun out. Please enter the finish. Tuka, what are you Tuka, what are you doing? Look, it's not the 1st mistake that kills you, all right? It's the 2nd. That was very close. If he didn't finish within those last 2 seconds, he would have gained no points at all. Whew. Man, that was stressful. That was stressful. I'm not even driving. That was stressful. But here we are on map number 2, Muño, which is the map that will be taken out next week. So this is the last time you guys will be able to see this track. No worries, Mellar. Go have a great time with T. And thanks for lurking. Thanks for hanging out. You're awesome. Guys, do check out Mellar if you haven't already. He's a great friend, great streamer. So be sure to say hi to him whenever you can. Just warming up right now. This is a track that isn't really stitched together in the normal way. It's a lot of grass sections to move between the different set pieces that you can see right here, right now. Because of that, control over your car on the grass is very important and usually leads to some mistakes in these sections. If you don't manage to get the slide just right, it will mess with the line that you get in the section afterwards. So let's see if these players are able to keep everything up, and let's find out if Intellect manages to keep his first place or if Captain Salmon or Tuka fights his way back. As it is right now, Captain Salmon is on the bubble. He doesn't want to go out. That would mean demotion from Division 1 to Division 2 in his case. So let's see. Round number 1. Everybody very close to one another. In the previous races we've seen on this track, players tend to stick to each other pretty well up until the final sections of this map. Let's see if we can see a repeat of that. Tuka right now taking the lead quite comfortably. 0.2 of a second ahead of Salmon, followed up by Intellect. Tuka takes a slide, goes on in. This is usually the spot where things can go wrong. Tuka makes it. Intellect and Captain Salmon make it as well. Right now, honestly, all of them driving a very nice map. Into the jump they go. All clear the barrier. Final slide into the finish. Captain Salmon kind of messing up the slide, but might snipe. Intellect barely did not. Barely did not. But honestly, great round from all the players. That was great to watch. But Tuka does take it. And with that, I believe Intellect is 2 points ahead. Captain Salmon does have to pick it up. The gap is getting larger and larger. Here we are, round number 2. And Tuka again taking the lead. Very, very nice of him. But again, everybody is very close to one another. Nobody is there yet. And Tuka bonks on the side, allowing Captain Salmon and Intellect to just drive on by like nothing ever happened. Tuka way behind right now. 1.3 seconds. That's basically lights out in this case. Unless Captain Salmon or Intellect messes up at some point. One can only hope. One can only hope. But Captain Salmon looking to finally get his first win on the board. Looking very good. Intellect missing the jump. Bonks in. Having to take the alternate route. But that would mean that Captain Salmon is the only one getting the finish right now. Nobody really causing him any danger. And Intellect having to take the safe finish as well. Not the best lap for Intellect right there. But Captain Salmon making it a bit more exciting. Just 8 points between number 2 and number 3. In fact, number 2 is number 1 because both Intellect and Tuka have 36 points. Oh, man, this is quite the tight race. And Tuka, again, taking that lead. This dime does not hit the side of the road there. And manages to keep the lead. Intellect trailing a bit behind. Not getting the bestest of slides right now. And doesn't make the jump. His wheel hits the ramp and has to respawn. Tuka making a mistake though. Unfortunately, we missed that, and Captain Salmon just driving on ahead. Let's see if Captain Salmon is able to clutch this out. Tuka and Intellect are going to have to fight it out at the back. And Captain Salmon looking very nice. Gets the jump on in. Tuka and Intellect right behind. And it looks like no changes there. Both of those players making a mistake, making it more exciting, more interesting. And look at that, just 4 points in between number 1 and number 3 right now. And we are already heading to map number 3. Like I said, this is gonna fly on by like you won't believe it. Here is the new map of the pack. It's Kartoy Tourist, which is Karting Tourist. Again, I'm just gonna call it Karting Tourist. Has been added this week and will be seen next week as well. The previous map, like I said, Muño will be taken out of the pool. Yeah, we'll just have a bit of a warm-up. Allows me to get a bit of water, because whew, this is going fast. But yeah, now you can see these players actually driving the way you're supposed to. Which, you know, in my opinion, is just great to watch. You can see Intellect skipping one of the turns on the dirt section earlier to just set up for the slide a lot better. Don't touch the grass there. Stick on the, what is it, the road, and don't touch the barrier. It's very close, very narrow. You know, it feels like you're always about to hit the barrier, but, you know, keep your speed and you'll be fine. Jump on up, slide out. It's unfortunate, but, you know, we're in warm-up. We can just look at what Intellect is doing and have an idea of what we're supposed to do. We slide on through. Get through the checkpoint right here. Make sure to keep your contact with the road so you can get the boost and into the finish you go. That's pretty much it. That's the track. That's the track. Super easy, right? Well, let's see if that's the case for the players as well, because they're the ones who have to drive this. It's a very interesting track, in my opinion. I very much enjoy it. But right now, we have Captain Salmon taking the lead initially, followed up by Tuka and Intellect. But really, Tuka and Captain Salmon fighting for first place. Not even a car's length away. If there was any collision in this game, they would be, you know, just driving on top of each other. But apparently, they were too distracted, and Intellect simply overtakes both of them right away. Intellect doesn't have time for all that. He just drives and goes on. Captain Salmon right behind. Tuka made a mistake. We missed it, but he is 2 seconds behind. Intellect not getting the slide just right. Captain Salmon clipping as well. And Tuka, you know, whatever that mistake might have been, it wasn't bad enough. At least not as bad as the ones Captain Salmon and Intellect have made just now. And Tuka's just going to run away with it. There he is. #1. Even after that early mistake, that early bonk. I assume it's a bonk. He must have touched some part of the wall. It's Tuka expanding his lead, and it's Captain Salmon and Intellect tied up for #3. I don't even know what happens when #2 and #3 are tied up. I assume there will be a sudden death of sorts. But that is that's quite something, because it could be tied up at the end of it all. It definitely is possible. But here we are, round number bonk. Round number bonk, with Intellect already getting the bonks in. It's #2. Tuka and Captain Salmon driving up the front. Let's see if the same will happen for Intellect this time. The same what happens to Tuka. But as it is right now, both Tuka and Captain Salmon driving very nicely. Captain Salmon just getting the corner a bit tighter, allowing him to overtake. Let's see if he gets the jump and slide just right. Looks good to me. Intellect still trailing behind, but Tuka having the slides a bit better, maintaining a bit more contact with the road, allowing him to overtake Captain Salmon, and Intellect, because of the earlier mistake, has to settle for 3rd place. It's going to be a close one, honestly. I am very interested where this is going, but, well, Tuka might be increasing his gap between the #2 spot. It's still not done. A lot of things could happen. We still have one more map to go after this. We are on the final rounds of the Karting Tourist. So, while there are 4 rounds remaining, it could go any way. Could go any way. And the players all show that potential to make sure they get into Division 1 if they weren't in Division 1 already. But we have Captain Salmon right now ahead, with Intellect and Tuka trailing very close behind. Not a lot of space between the two. Let's see who gets the better corner after this wall. Captain Salmon looking pretty good. Intellect a bit more on the inside, allowing himself to catch up just a bit more. Let's look at these slides. Intellect sliding on by, and Captain Salmon have to relegate the #1 spot to Intellect right now. Good contact on the road by Intellect. Captain Salmon and Tuka right behind. All the players, honestly, driving an amazing, amazing round right there. But Intellect being the one taking the 10 points. Look at this, though. These positions are very, very close. Tuka might still be at the top right now, but as you can see, it's just a few first seconds. You know, like if Tuka just gets a couple of #3 spots right now, it could be anyone's game. It could be anyone's game. But here we are, the final track of the day, Rapid. We will be checking out the relegation match between Division 2 and Division 3 after this. But for now, we're just gonna finish up this first match of ours. I mean, you know, Captain Salmon might do it. He might do it, honestly. I can imagine anyone taking it right now. Like, all these players, all these 3 players are great players. Simple as that. So we'll see. I personally am rooting for Intellect just because he had to fight his way all the way from Division 3 to get here. He initially was in Division 2, was relegated to Division 3 in Week 2, took the number 1 spot there, and in Division 2 manages to take his number 3 spot, I believe, or number 2. I believe it was number 3. So now he's just trying to fight his way to Division 1. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe the salmon prevails, maybe the fish is better. And Tuka has to somehow not be first. We don't know. We will see. As you can see, the point difference is minimal, honestly. 10 points between number 1 and 3. It could change. It could change very easily. But here we are on Rapid. It's a bit of a wacky track, requiring a lot of control over your speed. Like right here, right now, Captain Salmon, Tuka, and Intellect all make the jump, though Intellect not having enough speed through the slide, allowing him to fall back a bit. Captain Salmon and Tuka fighting it out very hard. Everybody gets the slide. Let's see how the transition goes to this flat section. Intellect doesn't go quite up the hill there, having to just fall back. He's going to have to accept that he is in 3rd place for this one. Tuka, however, good slide, but Captain Salmon barely gets more speed, overtakes, and gets the 10 points. Woo! What a race. This Intellect does not get points. Intellect does not get points. He was too far behind. No! Oh, no! That is the first race where I've seen people not get points, I believe. Oh my word, I just didn't even expect it to happen. Oh no. I hope he's able to keep it together, because that just hurts when that happens. You know, you only have 10 seconds once the first player finishes to finish yourself. So if you don't finish, you don't get any points. That is a shame to see. Intellect right now having to settle for 3rd place again. Let's hope he doesn't make the same mistake again. He does not, and in fact gets a better transition than Captain Salmon onto the flat section from the quarter pipe, and onto the ice we go. Intellect having a great slide. Might be able to overtake Tuka, but no. Tuka hits the boost a bit earlier, and he takes 1st place. Intellect in 2nd, and Captain Salmon apparently not getting the slide just right, having to settle with 3rd place. I'm not sure if Intellect is able to take it. I'm not sure he's able to come back. He has to take 1st place and hope that Captain Salmon takes 3rd right now. Tuka looking very good, very comfortable. There's really not anything that could happen that will make Tuka not go. He could not finish, and he would be just fine. But it's really a question about who takes it. Does Intellect keep his 1st place and make sure that Tuka stays in 2nd with Captain Salmon in 3rd? But right now, Tuka doesn't feel like jumping in that. He's just driving. He's taking it easy. He's cruising. But Intellect really has to make sure he stays in 1st place to get the win. Captain Salmon right now does overtake. It all goes here. It all depends on this slide right here, right now. All of the players getting the slides just right, and unfortunately, Intellect is going to have to accept that today he wasn't the best and has to return to Division 2. Unfortunately, he won't be able to try again, as next week is the last week, and there are no more relegation matches. But that does mean that Tuka takes the win with 86 points, Captain Salmon with 80, and Intellect with 70.